So next I'm going to move over to service, and we're going to take on the role of Leanne in this case. So in this case, what you can see is Leanne's moved house and she's having a little bit of a nightmare trying to get a quote for a new energy bill. So we can see the agent here is responding back. It's getting confirmation around who Leanne is, and trying to pull back the information to pull back and generate some more information around this. We're going to ask for the address, and we're going to make a call to the EPC public database to pull some information around the property and understand a little bit more about it. So you could see how this could lead to potentially upsell opportunities around adding in some additional solar paneling for the house to upgrade its energy rating or insulation. And we can also ask if we want different products or different service lines, in this case, just electric. So you can see what we're going to do next is ask for some information around their previous energy bills. In this case, we know that we were paying £100 a month for our energy, but we don't know what the usage is. That's not something that we've got oversight in at the moment. And so we can see, to help generate a quote, we've got some examples and some information based on some knowledge articles around what those different usages might be, so that someone can make an estimated guess about what they're doing. And that's going to allow the agent to go and call some actions that we've got pre-built in the background as Salesforce Flows and Apex to generate an opportunity, add products, and then generate a quote for the customer and present that back in a meaningful, readable format. So we can see we've brought back our new price, a product description. We can see the savings per month that we're going to be doing, but we're also adding an upsell in there of asking if they want to upgrade to their clean or sustainable energy tariff. Once we do that, depending on the answer that we get, in this case, we're going to say that we would like to do that. We're also going to add that new product to the opportunity that we've generated in the quote, update the price, update the savings, and make sure to see if we're happy to progress forwards with this. In this case, we are, and that's a really powerful way of making energy quoting really, really easy and transferable for people. So can you imagine when Salesforce Voice comes out, for example, we'll be able to reuse this information and the structure of how this has been built to potentially do this over the phone, or we could do this through WhatsApp. There's huge amounts of possibilities here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and look at the opportunity. So we can see we added our new lead, that created a lead, converted the lead. We've now created an opportunity. We've added our new tariffs in. So we've got our new products added as well, which I think just shows the power of how we can automate that process, which is really, really, really key. So you can see what I'm going to do now is run through the agent. So we can see we've got our topic. We have our set of instructions here. So we can see we've got a structure of how we want the inquiry to be handled. We've also got multiple actions that are being done in here. So for example, converting leads, updating the address, getting the EPC information, all of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the same process here on the right hand side of the screen in our reasoning engine and our agent tester, which allows us to go and see all the decisions and the reasoning behind why the responses that we get are coming back. So in this middle panel here, we can see that it's identified the topic, which is our energy rate inquiry for new leads. And we can start to work through what the instructions are, what the actions are here as well. So we could have asked maybe a question that we've got a problem with an existing energy bill, and we'd be able to manage that as well within the service agent, which I think is really quite powerful, in that we can also upsell and cross-sell through service, which I think can be a real game changer for people that are working with the agent. You know, don't just limit it to service. You can also manage upsell processes within here as well. So in this case, we can see that we've entered our information. We know that there's not an existing customer, so we've created the new lead. We've pulled the EPC data and updated the lead record with that information as well, and that's produced the output. So you can see at the moment it's a string of text, but it's structured it for us to make sure that it's readable for someone who's working through. And then we're going to start to run through that same process, asking based on our instructions what type of information they'd like. We're going to update their lead address, and now we're going to start to understand with the information that's presented based on our knowledge articles. And you can see how this is slightly different to the previous conversation, in that it's recognized that a lot of the time people aren't understanding or don't know how much energy they're using. And so we're automating. It's recognized that that's something that maybe is something that should be said straight away, and it's presenting that information without us having to prompt it or ask for it, which I think is really powerful to see how it learns. We can now see how it's converted the lead, brought back our opportunity information, and it's also added our new products in here as well. So you can see that whole process in the background of the actions that it's triggering based on what, a small conversation that's happening, all of the automation that we can trigger, and it's the agent that's making the decisions around what actions should be triggered, and not, a very specific set of, automated processes. It means that you can flit around in the process a little bit more and make sure that all these actions can be triggered at different points within the journey, which is really, really powerful, the same way you would if you were making a decision as a human. So as we start to work through, we can see that we've updated the opportunity to quoted as well. We've pulled back our information to confirm that. And when we jump back into our opportunities, we'll see that there's a new one for Joe, and we've got our products added in here as well. So we've got our 12-month energy tariff, just to show you a little bit behind the scenes as to how that works as well. And of course, you would be able to report on this in the same way you would any other opportunity or lead process within Salesforce. So I think it's a really powerful use case to present here.
Okay, well, thanks very much for the demo, Sam. So hopefully you can start to see how these agents can help you win more business and potentially save on time and also costs too. So beside the sales and service use cases we've just demoed, there are so many possibilities with these new autonomous agents. So things like, from advising customers and upselling appropriate products and services to even employing an agent to power your marketing campaigns. We really do predict that, this is just like scratching the surface at the moment. There's so much more to come in this area. So on this slide, we've just put together a few suggested use cases that might potentially provide quick wins for an energy or utilities company. So the first one, like the instant bill comparison demo that we just saw, with these use cases, we thought about our customers in this sector and what might be helpful to them. Many customers that in this area have lots of drivers, technicians and engineers, people who are out on the road in the field doing work, and that's a lot to manage. On top of that, you might also have third-party suppliers who are also doing work. So the organization of that amounts to a lot of effort going into the coordinating, planning and managing changes that might happen. So we were thinking that perhaps you could use an internal facing agent functionality to actually coordinate this work. So set and amend shift patterns, make last minute amendments to things. So there's lots of companies that provide a service and have teams that work very hard to stay on top of this. So if you could automate some of this work with an agent, that could really help you to scale, as well as being much more efficient, faster, and also just kind of responsive to customers. Customer experience could certainly potentially be improved by this. So it's really about kind of optimizing workflow without actually investing in additional human resources. and obviously that then saves on things like onboarding and training, a lot of the things that Sam was talking about earlier, you know, where you can have things which are working 24/7, you can be super responsive, you know, the agents don't take sick days, they don't you know, have off days, they wouldn't make a mistake. So, you know, I think there's a lot of, you know, potential in that one. The second thing we thought about is that another admin burden prevalent in this space is the scheduling and coordinating of field service on the customer side. So particularly those companies who use Field Service Lightning and Salesforce. So Salesforce has certainly alleviated much of the manual data entry with its various automation capabilities and products that, you know, that are included in Field Service Lightning. But businesses can now enlist Agentforce to do all of the heavy lifting. AI agents can empower customers to schedule, amend, and cancel appointments using logic from the Atlas reasoning engine to correctly decipher and interpret those customer requests. All while acknowledging external elements such as engineer availability and experience, operating hours, and seasonal and resource fluctuations. So I can see even this sort of functionality eventually cancelling out the need to rely on a costly call center and operatives, which will make a big difference to customers and companies with these sorts of operations. The final one we thought about was, you know, when we think about our power, water, and gas, what are the questions that come to mind? Things like, how much am I using? What is the length of my contract been? Why am I paying this much? You know, I don't understand my bill. All those things, you know, quite common questions. So Agentforce can draw on real-time usage and customer data to enable AI to explain charges clearly, provide relevant information about different services, customer contracts, and also suggest different options to customers that might suit each individual customer. So not only can this type of use case decrease costs by automating service requests and actually reducing the handling times, but it gives customers instant and direct access and answers to their questions, which is definitely something that we seek more and more as customers. You know, going back to that customer experience, being able to you know, literally manage your energy contracts that you have at any time of day, you know, be that on Christmas Day, you know, at 9 o'clock in the morning, you know, an agent could definitely power that. And I'm sure you're probably thinking of many other ways that you could use this technology within your business. The great thing is, once you have an agent added to your org, you can just iterate on that and add more and more as time goes by. So as you come up with new use cases and agent actions, you can just kind of build out the capability of that agent. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you very much for sharing your time with us today. And you can also use the link here on this page, so the QR code, to go and book that free Salesforce AI workshop. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
Bye.